What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working on the EF Sedan. Now, I overlooked the engine bay yesterday and I realized, dang, I still need a catch can. Now, normally I'd run the catch can that I designed, and then I had the homie KELLYBUILT cut it out for me and I welded up here on my table. But because we did the battery relocation, we used the charge post, it's actually installed where the catch can would be sitting, and that means I cannot use the design that I came up with. So what I want to do in today's video, guys, is design a new catch can for the EF Sedan and get it all fabricated up. Now, I won't be able to build a catch can today because the supply shop is closed, so I'm gonna have to go over there tomorrow to get some material so we can cut it all out, weld it all up, and get it permanently installed into the car. Possibly do the valve cover bungs as well too, on a spare valve cover, because I'm not going to cut the Type R one that's currently in the car. Now, I've said this many and plenty of times before, man. Big shout out to the homie Slimeball Built. He came out with his awesome freaking SIR hood for the EF Sedan, and I'm really falling in love with it because, one, it fits really well. Two, I'm able to use the factory latch to be able to pop this normally, and it's an SIR style. We're able to clear the K20 on the low setting with an RBC manifold without having to modify the hood. Not gonna lie, I'm gonna drive this car around with a bungee cord attached to the hood to the traction bar, just to ensure that it's not going to pop up at certain level of speed. And you know, once I feel comfortable enough, we'll run it without the bungee cord, because most of the time when you run a carbon fiber or a fiberglass hood, people use hood pins for that reason, so it doesn't flop open and smack your windshield or your roof. So normally my catch can would sit right here in this general area, and then it has a like sponge type filter instead of the regular cone filter, because it will stick up too high and may potentially hit my hood. So this time around, because I can't run the catch can that I normally run right here, I'm gonna build something for this back corner. Something like the all-in fab. I know the homie Jeremy has it in his right-hand drive DB8, the all-in fab catch can slash coolant reservoir, I think it is, and it sits right here in this corner. So I figured, you know what, let's just utilize this right here and just kind of match it up with the other side. Like, we have the fuel pressure regulator and the coolant overflow, and then this side we'll just have the catch can and the post mount. What is this? What the heck is all this sand looking thing? That's no bueno. So I spent a cool minute building this catch can, and I have all the pieces cut out. All the sides are here. This is the front plate right there, but I want to show you guys the baffling on the inside. So I was spending a little bit of time trying to figure out what's the best way for the baffle on the inside. I ain't gonna lie to you guys, the 14 TPI, it's a little scarier than the 18, but it is meant for thicker material, so I've already cut myself. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. All right, guys, so we lost a lot of daylight. Me, my mom, and my nephew, we did the entire lawn, edged all the sides, and everything is scooped up. So now I'm gonna get back to the project. I'm gonna sand this down so that way it's nice and fresh aluminum, and then we'll break down the catch can to start marking everything out to transfer into aluminum. So I didn't really think this through. This entire sheet is not going to fit in my vertical saw right here, and I got to figure out how to get this all cut out. I do want to go to Home Depot to go get the Diablo blade. I saw it on Instagram. I got the part number for my Makita table saw, and it should cut through this aluminum no problem. But I don't want to go to Home Depot right now, and I don't want to wait till tomorrow. I just want to make some progress right now. So I'm going to have to whip out the good old trusty grinder and cut this with a cutoff disc. Scarier to do it that way. It takes longer, gets hotter, but I mean, I've done that before. So, but aside from that, I do have all of the sides and baffle traced out, and they're all labeled, so I know where they all go. And I'm just going to go ahead and knock this out. So I forgot to trace out the sides, the caps, to close the entire catch can, but that's last anyway. So what I did here was all of the pieces that I cut out, fortunately for me, it didn't take too long on the angle grinder, literally the same disc, and it didn't even take up that much cookie. But I got all the pieces cut out over there, and what I did was I wanted to try to bend this myself. It would be nice to have a brake. I would love to buy one. I just don't really have a place to put it. So what I did was I slit the material to make it easier to bend, right? This piece right here, I was actually cutting it through, and then I stopped and I was like, let me try to bend it. So I flipped it around, cut this end, but on this straight piece, this is the entire like outside of the catch can. What I did here was I just used a grinder to cut the material about, I don't know, quarter ways through that 1/8 inch. I'm hoping that with these little cuts will make it easier to bend. And you guys saw that I welded this little piece up right here. A little contraption I made to bend aluminum. I mean, I'm sure it'll bend steel easily, but I welded it up, made sure it was strong. I doubled up the angle iron to you know, make sure this doesn't bend. But a while ago I made this piece right here to make the end tanks for the intercooler on this car. This is what I used to like make a straight piece of flat stock to a curve. So I don't know what happened to the bottom piece, is why I made that new one. And I'm gonna attempt to bend some aluminum right now. I've tried bending aluminum before. I'm not an aluminum bender, but I remember it breaking. So if this works out, cool. If it doesn't, we'll just cut it and, you know, weld it all up like we usually do. Probably best to heat it up, but maybe I'll do that. Okay, that's gonna break. Okay, that did not work. I mean, it broke clean, but it is what it is. I guess this is kind of like a shear at this point. Clean cuts though. Look at that. I just thought about this. I can show you guys the bending process on the bottom part of the catch can that goes into the wheel well. This right here is my reference curve, and I did put some lines on here to make sure when I press them down, I press them evenly. After back and forth a couple of times, we got this bend right here pretty close to what's on my mock-up catch can. I'm not going to bend this anymore until we get the entire catch can outside perimeter all welded up to know if we need to bend this more or straighten it back out. But we have this piece, and I think now we got to build our box. Got that Amazon CAD design. This is the end cap right here. Transferred both sides. Now let's cut it. Got both pieces cut out, and this right here is going to sit on top of the filter so it can ventilate without it popping out of the catch can. Now before I weld these guys up, I got to do a couple more things to the can itself. So the can right here, I finished welding it last night, and I did mark it out for the 2-10 bungs that's going to be going on the top, and then this section right here is where I need to cut it out for the filter that's going to be sitting in this basket right here. So filter is going to get wedged in here, and then that plate that I cut out on the table is going to get bolted down with the rib nuts, and that's going to pretty much secure the filter in place and have a bunch of holes on top for ventilation. So I'm gonna go ahead and drill these guys out and get the bungs welded on, so that way whatever burn debris that's going to be falling through here will be out of the can before we close it up entirely. So I wrapped the legs right here the same color as the engine bay, just so it blends in a little bit. Pretty cool. Rest of tuner hardware. Now for the filter, I'm just using the anti-slosh foam that comes in the eBay fuel cell. I take this out because the E85 will deteriorate it, and then this will clog up your filter. So this is a great filter system that really doesn't cost much if you removed it out of an eBay fuel cell if you had bought one. Filter cover. Sorry for my music in the background, but guys, the catch can is all done. Honestly, this thing took a little longer than it's supposed to, but I was having fun with it and running around for parts and things like that. But anyways, fully mounted, secured into place, and I'm actually pretty stoked about this. It looks freaking incredible right there. Probably gonna peel this off later. I mean, we're not really flashing it right now since it is sitting on the driveway, but I will peel it off when we start taking this car to places. But I really wanted to build the lines, but I don't have any fittings, so I'm gonna have to order that. I'm hoping I can get some low profile 90s, so that way it doesn't stick up too high, but I'm not too worried about it because I mean, we do have the SIR rise on the hood, and it should clear whatever fitting I put on it. But two 90s probably cocked this way, and then two more 90s on the valve cover. It's gonna be two short lines, and I think I'm just gonna go ahead and just rock the blue valve cover for right now, and then we'll figure out a color lay down the road to give it a nice fresh powder coat to tie this all in together. So for right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and pop this red one off and throw the blue one on. Bam, guys, this thing is looking freaking incredible in the engine bay. This is the wagon's old valve cover, World Rally Blue, and I changed the theme in the wagon, so I changed the bungs for the valve cover, a different catch can setup, and this became a spare. It has the two -10s in the front already with the baffles underneath, so oil doesn't come out as easily. I'm stoked that it clears my fuel pressure gauge, and I'm gonna order some fittings here real soon. I'm gonna get like 4 tight 90s just to keep it nice and sharp instead of, you know, far out or using 45 like I did before, where the -10 breather line kind of comes out a little too far. Keep it nice and tight, nice and snug, so everything is all, you know, kind of tied in together. But this is not the set color for the valve cover. I do have a different color in mind, and I'm probably gonna bung the spare valve cover right there and then send that out for powder coating. But for the time being, this is gonna work for us, and hopefully we get the catch can lines and stuff dialed in here soon so we can schedule for a dyno tune. I've just been slowly chipping away at a lot of little things that's just been surfacing, and just really getting it ready for, you know, the rollers. And it's funny because, like, I said this 2 weeks ago that we were going to dyno this car, and we probably would have ran into problems. So I'm glad I'm catching all this stuff now. Give you guys one more look on the engine bay here, the catch can setup, guys, before we wrap it up. I'm super stoked on how everything turned out. DIY, finally got some extra material to do some other, you know, projects and stuff, that sheet of aluminum, and this project took a little longer, but you know, I was enjoying doing this one because definitely proud of that catch can. Before we cap out this video, I got a package in the mail that I placed an order for a little while ago, and this is actually going out to the homie Chris. Chris is the guy who sent me the CJS wiring conversion harness, and he had one request that I've honestly just been slacking on. But wait no further, because we have it now. Normally I get this stuff from like Walmart, place it online, pick it up when it's ready. Shutterfly popped up on my computer the other day, and I was like, while I'm already sitting here, I may as well just use Shutterfly to do some prints, because that's what Chris wanted in return for the conversion harness. So I actually got him a couple, because I can't thank him enough. This project wouldn't have been going if it wasn't for Chris reaching out and sending over the things that I needed that he no longer needed. And obviously the sedan is up and running, and this is kind of like a big thank you to him. He wanted a print of any one of my cars signed for that conversion harness, and I was like, bro, I got you. 20 by 30. I got him 2. I actually got one or 1 or 2 for myself, but I got him 2 different prints. Let me see. I got this one right here, the rear, and then I got him the front. Or I might just give him this one, because this one has the engine bay opened up right there. So Chris, I'm definitely gonna sign this and send it out to you soon, man. I appreciate you for the conversion harness and all the other little things that came with the package. Guys, we're gonna wrap it up for this video. I hope you enjoy the progress update on the EF Sedan build, the catch can setup. And if you guys did, be sure to leave a thumbs up. And if you guys want to stick around for whatever's next here in the driveway, man, be sure to hit the subscribe button. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.